Hello, I'm listening to a podcast earlier talking. It's Nick Majerison's The Cult of Nick. He was talking to Tony Topper about aliens controlling people on their minds, or using people's minds to communicate on this planet and try and control things. I was also looking at something Nick was putting on the other day, and I wondered whether he's made the connection. He put on something, a link to a website called Ultra Culture, and there was a thing on there, the Psychonaut Field Manual. And I've read through it, and I would say I'm trying to do level 1. I would like to achieve a state of gnosis, where the mind, you have to like meditate and relax and use a separate higher field of your consciousness and try and stimulate your third eye. And part of this is got me thinking, linked up with what Mr. Topping was saying, was a part of it was about you have to imagine a blue light, and you have to focus on this blue light. Now, I've been fascinated with blue light for many years. Blue lights like this, not the police blue lights, but a blue light, okay? And now, I know zeitgeist, that sort of thinking, I mean, the early people on the planet used to worship the sun. And I wonder whether they imagined something similar about the blue light. And there's another great big blue light out there. It's massive. It's a massive blue light. It's called Rigel. It's another star, another sun, but it is enormous. It's one of the biggest suns what we have seen. So we're imagining this great big blue light, and I wonder if somehow that's how they found us. If that's with a vast universe to look at. I wonder if they had any sense, or had any dreams, or any visions of the early man worshipping the sun, and getting this mad yellow light and making the connection and trying to find a yellow sun, well, an orange sun, and judging by the size, it wouldn't be too difficult with the amount of suns in what we have anyway. It doesn't sound very convincing, my argument at the moment. But in this higher state of consciousness, when you imagine in this blue light, I'd just like to say as well that I did see a UFO when I was a boy. I was about 10 or 11, and my mum and dad got me out of bed. I lived in Penge at the time. Got me out of bed, and we watched this light skipping about, sitting in the sky, actually, to correct myself. There was a hum, a low hum, and we stood at the window for 2 hours, and I'm not sure if I was imagining worlds or imagining, I didn't have any specific visions, but it definitely altered my perspective. on life and everything really at that age. But we watched it for 2 hours. My dad ended up going to bed to go to work, and we watched it and it moved like that, come back like that, off it went, gone. And I had many thoughts about it over the years. I mean, I'm 45 now. You know, it was 35 years ago. And I wonder whether... I wonder, firstly, why they never came back. Or why... You know, I always hoped they would. I'd see another. I've talked with a couple of people who've had visions. I've seen them, but you got to wonder about the way the planet's going and the power structures and the definition of power and the I could say the ingratitude of power on this planet, of such a beautiful thing and place that there is here, and why would they want to ruin it and devastate us with you know, apocalyptic scenarios. I mean, I can't imagine where it would lead, what sort of power. You know, it's not some I've killed 1 million people sort of bar to join a club. You know, you know, all these billionaires who have got rich off destructive processes. I can't see their... You know, the end game for where they're going is mass, like almost extinction of civilization. You know, if someone was controlling our leaders to a certain extent, or some aliens, some Nordic, like enormous asterix, the ghoul-looking creatures, yeah. Then what exactly would be the point of them destroying it, unless they just want the planet? You know, for... You know, if it would survive, which it probably wouldn't. If it all went off, we know we could blow this planet up, and who knows? Break it down to its core. But what cannot see the reasoning. I mean, we would be the children. I think there was a song years ago, we'd make good pets. And we probably would. And like naughty children, they would be chastising us for what we're actually doing. And I mean, you know, look at that, another band on the Music Connection, like the Foo Fighters. That's the name of what the aircraft in the Second World War, what they had, that was the aircraft pilot's name for UFOs. And all of a sudden there's thousands of planes going across the ocean, when before there was none, you know. And So they had to name them because they, for whatever reasons, are not making much sense now. I'm losing me thread a little bit. But we're all starting to imagine a blue light. Well, have a little look for Rigel on the internet. Have a look for Rigel. It's in the sky. You can see it. It's one of the constellations. One of the brightest stars. Near Betelgeuse. That's another massive sun. But Rigel is blue. And if they're from anywhere in the universe, I bet they're from over there, somewhere near Rigel. So be careful when you imagine your blue lights. We're going to get told off by the technologically superior and astral surfing human formed higher conscious beings from another galaxy far away. And we're going to get told off. We'll be chastised. They've been telling us to sort ourselves out. But the power structures at the moment seem to ignore it. Most of the Western ones do. Like, I've got faith in parts of humanity. A lot of humanity, actually. I don't have a lot of faith in the power structure. And obviously, Close Encounters was a mind-blowing film for me, which happened before we see that UFO, which was rather handy. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now because I'm waffling on a bit. Oh, yeah, I better tell you before I go. The Cult of Nick. And the website about becoming aware of your third eye was Ultra Culture. The Psychonaut comic or something. The Psychonaut. It's Ultra Culture. It's fantastic.